Hello everyone, my name's Jamie and I'm a percussionist in the Flowers Band. I hope you're all keeping safe and well during this time. Today I've prepared two lengthy excerpts from one of my favourite test pieces, Fraternity by Thierry Deleruyelle. This major work was commissioned for the 2016 European Brass Band Championships and has since been used in many contests both here in the UK and around the world. It's a very programmatic work that's based on a mining disaster which occurred in northern France over 100 years ago. The work heavily features the entire percussion section, however today I'm just going to concentrate on two of the more challenging passages that can be found on the first percussion part, as well as providing some performance tips along the way. The work is broken down into 7 sections that all segue seamlessly into each other. The two passages I'm going to look at today in this video can be found on the percussion 1 part. So I'm firstly going to look from bar 76 to bar 115, which is the beginning of the extracting the coal section, and incorporates a setup of 4 tom-toms and 2 bongos. So the most difficult part of this passage is really just playing quietly, especially on the bongos as they are higher in pitch and the natural rebound is more significant. More often than not, whilst rehearsing this passage in the band room, the conductor will ask you to play just a little bit quieter than the piano marked. So some things you can do to achieve this is make sure you're using lightweight sticks, preferably with wooden tips, not nylon. You can also try taping your sticks using either masking tape or gaffer tape. That's something I've certainly done in the past, and it's nice just to play around with different options. The other challenging part of this passage is counting. As it's a 4-bar repeated ostinato, it's quite easy to lose count, particularly with nerves on a contest stage. So I've marked it on my part when different instruments enter. So for example, trombones at 92, cornets at 96, and then finally soprano cornet with the high bongo roll at bar 103. Another detail to mention is the 2-bar solo feature in bars 106 and 107. It's only marked MF, however I like to bring this out just a little more as it is a solo. The second passage I'd like to focus on today is the beginning of the fire dam section. This is the moment in the story where the disaster begins to unfold. It features heavily the entire percussion section and is probably the most technically demanding for the rest of the band. We've now added the kick drum, and I'd like to pick up from bar 263, and we're going to work 4 bars at a time. So the 3 most important things to remember about this section are dynamics, accents, and rest values. The 3rd bar is a little bit tricky because you need to cross over sticks on the bongos. I found myself that this bar especially can rush quite easily, particularly the bongo roll at the end of the bar. I also want to get that roll to come from nowhere, so I almost don't articulate it and then I can fade in from nothing. It's also important to make sure that that crack at 266 is right on the conductor's downbeat and not too early. Moving on to the next 4 bars now. So you'll notice the accents are only written on the bongo line, and these coincide with the anvil part. The other thing to note through these 4 bars are the written dynamics. We want the crescendo at the end of bar 268 to come from nowhere, making sure that the quaver rest in the following bar is observed. Now for the last 4 bars of this repeated passage. So again, the crescendo to fortissimo should sound huge, and then an immediate difference when back on the toms. I use double strokes on the toms and bongos in bars 272 and 273. Again, make sure the quaver rests are observed. Because everything you play seems fast, a quaver rest will feel like it lasts longer than it should. And this was something I found when first practicing this piece and during rehearsals as well. This passage then repeats itself 2.5 times, and on the third time we jump from bar 272 to 296, which sounds something like this. So sticking wise, I'm pretty much doubling everything here. The tricky part about the transition into 298 is for those of you who are right hand dominant, you end up playing the 16ths with your left hand whilst accompanying a very technical solo trombone feature, and it's important not to overshadow that. I dampen the last 2 notes because they're marked secco, and for any performer out there playing this part, this is now your chance to breathe.